correct me if I picked this up on. You said you had no formal training?
No, I have no formal training. I graduated human resources and business administration, and I did that even before I did that knowing I wanted to be an artist. And once again, I'm in sales mode right now, right? In sales mode, I was like, my clients are in business school. Why would I go to art school? It's like, and my clients don't know what good art is because they haven't trained in art. So I'm going over there. So I, studied with business owners, and that's where a lot of my clientele comes from. A lot of people that I just ended up studying with, teachers, assistants, all on that side. And I chose that route knowing that my clientele is not going to be artists next to me. That's my competition. And once you realize that art is subjective, you're just like, you're like if we're doing competitive art, I'm gonna lose every single time. But if we're doing sales, I'm gonna win. So I don't know. I chose, that was my way of thinking back then. Now I just don't really care. Like, I have the muse, I use it, I create art. It's not better than anybody else's art, but I know that I can explain it, and I know that I can exhort about it and inspire through it. And so that's my mission. I'm not a competitive artist. I have a lot of artist friends who are so much better than me. Buy their stuff. If you want good art, buy them. If you want art that means a lot, buy them. Still, still buy them. If you like my art, you can buy it. But, no formal training. I read a lot of books.
So, that's interesting because it sounds like you came into the art world with a business sense.
Yes, definitely.
Which a lot of artists lack, the business side, even logistical side, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, logistics.
So, what put your mind there? That I gotta know this business aspect of it, but also hold my creative as well.
Yeah, I would say it was a mixture of my mom and dad put together. My dad was an insurance salesman, for the most part. That's how I knew him growing up. And my mom, a musician, and not the kind of musician that, she's not how do I explain it? My mom was a musician who played music to take care of us, to make money. And not make money in the shiesty sense. It's make money with I have this talent, I should use it. So she wrote songs. She went to the studio, recorded albums. Then she would go out in the street and promote that album by playing it on the street. And people would give her tips. And that's what I saw growing up. So creativity always used in a practical sense. For me, art is not meditative. It is not relaxing. It's not a kumbaya thing. It's not my therapy. When I do it, I'm sweating. I am nervous. I am, there's a pit here I've learned to interpret as the engine to my work. So my art is not self-serving in any way, if that makes sense. It's not something I do to calm myself down and hold to myself. It's something that I know will be shown to others. And so when I create with responsibility in the same way that my mom would. My dad, being a salesman, a very practical person, he was always on the financial side of our work. And he was honestly the one that always yeah, sure, you can go get a degree in business. Don't let art leave your life. You're an artist. So, which is kind of strange to have your dad say all the time. It's he worked super hard, long hours, and I watched that growing up. And it was grueling hours that he worked. And he'd always come back and be like, you're an artist. You need to make art. And I know it doesn't look practical right now, but this will come to fruition. Be an artist. No, don't get a job yet. He'd be like, don't get a job. Be an artist. And so Dad would tell me that, right? Coming from his background, he grew up inner city DC, made it out of DC through military and then came to Ohio, right? Met my mom, all that stuff. And so he comes from this extremely practical background. And then my mom makes art with a practical intention. And then with my dad being go make art, encouraging all his kids to make art. You're a musician, go do music. Don't get a job yet, not yet. I'd be like, Dad, I got a couple of job offers because I don't know if it's gonna work out. Dad would be like, make them convince you. If you want a job, make them convince you, but don't fold. Like, just keep making. So I think that those, my two figures, mom and dad, kind of conjoining, gave me this precedent where like art was always a practical thing to do. It wasn't like this wishy-washy thing. It was like either you're doing missional art with pure truth behind you, and you have to do it because you're talented in it. And I don't mean have to in like an authoritative sense. I mean have to in that like there's, my worst piece of, I've seen my worst piece of art change somebody's life. I've seen it. If my worst art can change someone's life, I have a responsibility not only to make bad art, but to make good art. So I don't have a lot of time, right? Like I gotta be making bad art, I gotta be making good art. Because the bad art just changed somebody's life. And I didn't like it, but they liked it. And the art that I'm super passionate about, that I consider to be good art or some of my best works, they do something similar on a larger scale. It's like, there's a lot of responsibility to get to. I need to start doing hours like my dad growing up. So I think that's the merging of those two worlds, and that's how I've always seen art. So that's how I operate now. The difference is I just operate it through faith instead of through business.